that we might have traditionally thought of it doesn't
What's going on, champs and champets? It's Monkey here, and I've officially reached level 100 in Fortnite Chapter 5 Season 4 Absolute Doom, and I'm going to tell you exactly how I did it within the first week of the brand new season. Now, something I should mention right here is I know there's going to be some people saying, buy tiers, it's easy, you want to get level 100, just buy your way up there, and well, yes, that is true, that is not what I did this time around. If we go over to the item shop right now and we go down to the actual passes area, you can see I still have the 25 levels offer available to me. If we go over to the Battle Pass buying levels area, you can see that I'm able to buy 98 levels, or I guess 99 here to go all the way to level 200 if I really wanted to. I have not bought a single tier in this Fortnite season. The only thing I have bought has been the Fortnite crew in order to get the pass here, and as you can tell, I have all of the main rewards actually done, and I'm now working on getting all of the bonus rewards for this season. So how did I do it? Well, it's a little bit of an interesting situation regarding playing a lot of different modes. If we look at my quests, for example, right here, we have week 1 and week 0 quest completed. We have part 1 of the storyline quest completed, including the Gwyn pool quest you can find over at this location, which are hidden until you actually start earning them. We have the daily discovery quest done for creative mode, and I'll tell you what map I was actually using. We have the daily quest done, we have the reload daily quest done, and even if we go over to like rocket racing, for example, and we look at this, we have the daily quest done in this area. If we go over to Fortnite Festival, actually we don't really have the daily quest done there or anything, but I've been playing a lot of the new season, however also not really playing it as much at the exact same time. So before we start talking about specific things I actually did, let's go ahead and tell you one of the best ways of actually earning XP this season so far, and it's to play the non-Battle Royale game modes. Because I went ahead and did the math when the new season launched, and according to the math that is available in the files and the playtime XP you're able to earn, in LEGO Fortnite, for playing 2.5 hours each day, you earn 570,000 XP, which is a free 7.12 levels, just for playing LEGO Fortnite for 2.5 hours, right? So you can go ahead and go over to your like expert world you've been working on, you can go to your survival world with friends, do whatever you want to do, even play sandbox mode, and just kind of have a timer set for 2.5 hours. Now it does have AFK detection, so you either have to play the game in some capacity or find a way to bypass it, but just for doing that for 2.5 hours a day, you'll actually earn yourself 7 levels, which is almost a quarter, or I guess, 1/10 of the way through the whole entire 100 main tiers you actually have. On top of that, we have Fortnite Festival. Now, regardless of if you're playing the battle stage, the jam stage, or even the main stage, you can earn a total of 798,000 additional XP, which caps at 3.5 hours per day. Now, that is an additional 9.975 levels you can earn from playing just this mode right here. And something that you can keep in mind here is that if we add 3.5 hours and 2.5 hours, that is basically 6 hours per day in LEGO Fortnite and Fortnite Festival combined, in order to get yourself around 17 levels entirely for free each day, just by playing the different modes. Now, of course, 6 to 7 hours is a pretty big time sink, but just by playing those modes a decent amount, or, finding a way to bypass the AFK detection, you can almost get yourself through the pass in basically under a week, or as you can see right here, in like 4 days like I did, just by going through the whole entire playtime XP each day and optimizing how you're actually going about everything, and also completing other things you've got going on as well. You can see I haven't played Fortnite Festival at all yet today, and I'm a little bit closer to going through the whole entire festival pass and everything else in the first week, but by just doing those 2 modes alone, that's already 12 levels per day. Now, there is a third thing you can do here, which is Fortnite Reload. Now, this gives you 240,000 XP, which is 3 levels per day, and it caps at 2.5 hours. It is the slowest one out of the bunch that I've just mentioned, but it is still a way for you to get some additional XP while also doing your Reload quest, as you can see right here, and any other quests that actually are supported in this mode. So just alone with the things I've already mentioned, if you go ahead and play LEGO Fortnite every day for 2.5 hours, and then you play Fortnite Festival for 3.5 hours, and then you play Fortnite Reload for 2.5 hours, as well as doing your daily discovery quest right here, your Reload daily quest, and your daily quest from this mode itself, normal Battle Royale, you'll get yourself on average around 22.45 levels per day, meaning that if you just do that for around like 4 days, you'd be level 89. You'd basically be level 90. However, it's going to be leveling you up faster than that, because on top of doing all that stuff, the dailies repeat themselves. And even though it's 1,000 XP, that still adds up, especially if you're going to chest, organization, all of that stuff. It gives you XP as well. That stuff can stack up over time. But there is some more things I was doing that actually help speed this up. something I should mention is that I haven't really saved the world in order to progress through my levels at all this season. I played like maybe 1 or 2 matches, you know, trying to actually try out the Ventures season for the first time in a while, but I haven't actually focused on it. But what I have focused on are stuff like milestones and survivor medals. As you can see, I have a long way to go with survivor medals still, but if we look at my milestones, I've already completed 2 different sets of milestones all the way through the 20 stages. One for damaging opponents and one for eliminating enemy players. Of course, you'll do these over time. However, if you want my advice on how to get it done quickly, go into a bot lobby. So of course, you know, if you have like a phone or something that you can actually get in that's on a brand new account, go into a bot lobby. However, make sure you have the squad option selected so that whenever you see an enemy, it's going to be a group of 4 enemies instead of a group of like 2 or 3 enemies here and there, right? It just makes it so you can get a lot more kills more rapidly. And whenever you actually down one of the bots, you want to go ahead and basically focus on that down bot, go ahead and deal the extra damage to them. So instead of getting like 100 damage per opponent, you can get yourself around 200 damage per opponent, basically turning one body into the equivalent of 2 and maybe sometimes even a little bit more bodies towards the damage opponent milestone. And then of course over time you'll also get the eliminate enemy players milestone done as well, and then other things like collecting or spending bars. My advice for this is whenever the mod bunkers actually open up during a match, go to at least 1 or 2 mod bunkers per game, go ahead and destroy all of the gold bars and everything inside of it, and then also spend those gold bars at vending machines or whatever else, because if you get 500 gold bars from going like 2 mod bunkers per match, and then you spin those 500 as well, that is basically 1,000 or a whole entire stage of the milestone every single time you're going into a match, which is a free 15,000 XP on top of everything else you're doing. And then other stuff are just going to kind of happen over time, like thanking the bus drivers, surviving storm circles, outlasting players. And the only advice I could give, which is something I didn't do myself, is for thanking the bus driver, you could go into normal matches, or you could even go into like Team Rumble, thank the bus driver, back out instantly, go into a new match, loot that over and over and over again, just to quickly farm the XP from it. But it is something that I wasn't personally focused on. Now, of course, on top of all that, you have your story quests and your weekly quests you're available to do and everything, but by just kind of playing the game right now, doing LEGO Fortnite daily, doing Fortnite Festival daily, having a timer on another monitor on your phone or something for that 2.5 hours or 3.5 hours, you level up really insanely quickly. And it's not just me hitting level 100 this fast. If we go over to my friends list and look at some people such as B yourselves right here, they're already level 138, and she hasn't bought any tiers as far as I'm aware. I think in all the friends I've really asked who've already reached level 100, I only had one person who really bought tiers, and they only bought like 2 levels, right? They didn't even buy the battle bundle, they just bought the 2 that were available for them. And as we kind of go through here, we look at Brap, for example. You can't even see his level, but he's around level 117 right now, while also leveling up, you know, another account of his that is like his brother's or something that's in the same household as him, right? So it just shows that anyone can really get a high level this season if you're dedicated to it enough to at least just play the game, right? I know that some people are like, I don't want to play LEGO Fortnite, or I don't want to play Fortnite Festival, but considering the fact that right now in Fortnite we have a lot of quests for LEGO Fortnite where you can even get yourself some battle bus bonus stuff done, which I haven't been able to find a battle bus station at all, and you're able to get some bonus XP on top of all that stuff. And with Fortnite Festival, for example, you're able to get yourself through the festival pass, which has some instrument rewards, some sprays, all the type of stuff for you to actually get. It is something where everything you're doing right now is still going to progress yourself later down the line. Now, one of the least favorite ways I would say for leveling up right now that you can still do is rocket racing. The reason I say this is one of my least favorite right now is because of the fact that you're not really getting too much XP. As you can see here, I've basically done all the week 1, 2, 3, and 4 quests. However, I have 2 left for week 4, and I have week 5 available for me. Each of these give you like 5,000 to 8,000 XP, you know, pretty understandable, but at the same time, it's not going to actually get you up that many levels too fast. Even if we go down to the daily quest right here, you can see I've done these, and I don't really see it as the most beneficial way of leveling up super quickly this season. It is nice to get yourself some vehicle rewards if you do want to. However, if you're someone who wants to do the weekly quest very efficiently and really quickly, and your daily quest, something I would recommend you guys to check out isn't even playing normal rocket racing, right? I would say go to the actual custom-made maps. So if you know here's my recently played, we have this map right here, Ultra Fast Racing, with the code of 3427-5587-5413, which literally, as you can see right here, has a starting point and an ending point directly in front of each other. Each race is like a second long, and you can actually complete your daily quest by doing it that way. You can also complete your quests that require you to do a start time boost up to 555 times or whatever else. So it is a nice way for you to actually progress things. And then we also have other maps available, such as Downhill Drift, Mega Ramp, if you're someone who just needs to drift around. That map is 3355-6447-4501, and then the other map I've been using has been Unlimited Boost Tunnel, which is 7630-5500-5478. Now, the reason I would recommend doing these specific maps or whatever else whenever you're working on actually leveling up and completing those quests or rocket racing is because you also get the creative playtime bonus XP that exists in these maps. Now, that has a cap of around like 3 hours per day or whatever else, but just by doing these maps enough and just kind of grinding them out in order to kind of just get the challenges out of the way, you'll also get some bonus XP, which is around 15,000 per times of playtime XP pops up just for doing this. And then if you need a map to do something like Discovery Quest very easily, I've talked about this map before, my go-to map is Parkour City Tag right here, which is 3957-2847-4747, because this map, you'll have little hidden coins all on the rooftops and everywhere else inside of the train station and everything. Whenever you grab those coins, the first one might give you like 700 to 800 XP, but once you get into like round 2 or round 3, those coins can start giving you like 2,000 to 8,000 XP per, depending on how much XP you actually gain per day. So I would always go to this map daily for my Discovery XP. You know, I would go ahead and just kind of play it twice or times in a private match by myself, so I don't have to wait out like a timer. And I would continue my Discovery daily quest that way, and it has really helped me get level 101. So definitely use all the advice I've mentioned here in order to get to the new level. And this is one of the times where I can really be like, yeah guys, I have done it. I have managed to get level 100 in the first week of the season without buying any tiers. And I know some people are gonna be like, that is more of a sad thing than anything else. Why are you bragging about this? But at the same time, hey, people have some games they want to play. You know, I have a lot of single player experiences I've been trying to play recently, like some more of the Yakuza franchise. So being able to already know that I have the main pass completed means I have freed up my time for the future, where for the rest of the month, let's say I get bored of the game or whatever else, I don't have to worry too much about doing specific quest lines here and there, because I already got the rewards I came for. So with that said, hope this video was informative and helped you get a new level or a higher level in the new season. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it, and until next time, I'll see you guys a little bit later as I grind out even more XP on my account. Peace out.
Welcome to TechLink, where we deliver you a dose of tech news in 30 minutes or less, or your money back. You don't actually directly pay for the news. But see, AMD has walked back some of its Ryzen 9000 performance claims after the new processors fell short in reviewed benchmarks. In a blog post, the company explained some of the reasons why their numbers were better than basically every reviewer ever. A massive factor was AMD running all their testing in admin mode, which turns out is a big security yikers. According to Hardware Unboxed, what AMD is referring to is enabling the hidden system administrator account in Windows 11, something that requires command prompt to do. This isn't the same as a standard account with administrator permissions, mind you. This account runs with full administrative privileges by default and won't ask you if you're sure before you do something very stupid.
I'm gonna click on that link. Download that movie? Yes, please.
Would you like to have kids? Even worse, if your system gets compromised, malware or bad actors, and we're not talking Ezra Miller, can use those privileges too. If that wasn't enough, Wendell from Level 1 Tech suggests that running processes within that account means you're essentially running those processes with Windows virtualization-based security disabled. While that would give you better performance, it turns out your computer is less secure when you don't use features that contain the word security in the name. AMD claims that some of the missing Ryzen 9000 performance will be added to standard accounts in a future Windows 11 update. But that means nothing to Windows 10 users, aka most Windows users. iFixit has declared the Samsung Galaxy Ring unrepairable after a product teardown. And it wasn't unrepairable just because they did a really good job at tearing it down. No, iFixit made the claim because you aren't able to replace the Ring's lithium-ion battery without destroying it. That means that each Galaxy Ring basically has to be thrown out and replaced every 2 years when the battery dies. So it's less one ring to rule them all, and more one ring of many to end up in a landfill. Unfortunately, 100% disposable status is shared with every other smart ring and Samsung's Galaxy Buds 3 for the same reason. To make matters worse, this comes just days after Google confirmed that the Pixel Watch 3 also can't be repaired, just like the previous 2 Pixel Watch models. And all this falls within a larger trend of companies restricting the reuse of their products. Previously free features that came with the purchase of a $1,700 SNU bassinet, we all have one, have now been locked behind a monthly subscription. I imagine this will make it harder to resell your SNU once your newborn outgrows it in 4 to 5 months. On top of that, Peloton announced they will start charging new subscribers in the US and Canada a $95 activation fee if those users bought their hardware secondhand. What do they do if you buy it third hand? Beat the shit out of you? The US Department of Justice has announced they are suing RealPage, the company whose software is used by landlords to set rent prices. In a press release, the Justice Department claims their software encourages competing landlords to share sensitive rental information to help train RealPage's algorithm to suggest better and higher rent prices. Oh man, now AI is taking jobs away from hardworking price fixers. The government agency first opened an investigation into RealPage's alleged anti-competitive practices back in 2022, after an investigative report was published by nonprofit newsroom ProPublica. Things don't necessarily look good for RealPage, since at least 2 property management companies who used RealPage's software have agreed to settle several lawsuits filed against them by renters. Frankly, I think all this legal trouble serves RealPage right. AI isn't meant for making the cost of living higher, it's meant for bigger things, like scamming your grandparents and taking all our jobs. But until that happens, it's our job to tell you that Scrapyard Wars Episode 4, the final episode, is coming out tomorrow on Floatplane and Tuesday on YouTube, and it's brought to you by the sponsor of today's video on this channel, Jawa. Jawa is the marketplace for buying and selling gaming gear. They have PC components, peripherals, and even fully pre-built rigs. Check out their Scrapyard Wars giveaway, where there will be exclusive prizes that were used in the videos. If you want to watch episode 4 early and get access to exclusive behind-the-scenes content, subscribe to Floatplane. Again, it'll be on there tomorrow. Both links are in the description of this video. Friendships may come and go, but quick bits, well, they end even faster. AMD's upcoming Ryzen 9000 X3D chips may be coming out early next year, according to several sources. Reliable leaker HXL suggested that they may be coming at CES 2025, which is happening in January. This was then corroborated by both fellow leaker Juan Usmus and Hassan from WCCF Tech. This may also explain reports that AMD's new budget B-series motherboards are supposedly launching around the same time. If there's one thing gamers love, it's 3D V-cache. But if there's 2 things, the other one is a budget-friendly upgrade path for that. Apple has decided to split its App Store team into 2, King Solomon style, with one half to handle the EU-specific version of the App Store, also known as the We're Not Run by Billionaires store. However, at least one notable person will not be present to deal with this particular bisected baby. App Store Vice President Matt Fisher, who has led the division since 2010, will be leaving the company, possibly due to concerns that he too will be sliced in half if he remains. Of course, it would be much simpler for Apple to simply make one app store for the entire world that complied with EU regulations. But that would mean less money for Apple, and they're not ready to throw either half of the baby out with the bathwater. Microsoft may finally be killing off the Windows Control Panel. Hey, don't get mad at me. This Tuesday, a support document was updated to announce that Control Panel is in the process of being deprecated in favor of the Settings app. Though, on the other hand, Windows has been promising to retire Control Panel for years. The company has slowly been moving more tools to the Settings app for over a decade. Yet in that time, Control Panel has been kept around. It's like that one friend in the squad who you don't really talk to, but you keep him around because he makes incredible snickerdoodles. You rock me. So you're superior. A Kentucky hacker who faked his own death to avoid $116,000 in child support has been sentenced to nearly 7 years in prison, as well as $80,000 in damages. Jesse Kipf was guilty of more than being a bad dad, of course. In addition to hacking and altering state death registries in Arizona, Hawaii, and Vermont, he was found guilty of both fraud and identity theft.
Why couldn't he just keep it hurting his kids?
Kipf likewise used the dark web to sell stolen personal data and elicit access to private businesses' networks, and you think with that many side hustles he could find some spare cash to send his daughter. And Lindy AI was forced to patch their automatic responder after the bot pranked its clients. According to CEO Flo Crevallo, he first noticed the issue when the AI responded to a client's help request by sending them a link to a video tutorial that didn't exist. The bot, which was presumably trained on publicly available internet data, instead linked Rick Astley's seminal 1987 hit, Never Gonna Give You Up. It's possible these kinds of pranks are so deeply embedded in the training data that bots will be asking each other if they smell updog long after humanity's extinction. You know what I smell? More tech news being cooked up, so come back for another episode on Monday. A second helping, if you will. A second coming?
No.
Oh, it's tech news, son! Bam! bam, bam! You're not ready. Apple's expected to unveil the iPhone 16 lineup in early September, but I don't think anyone was expecting this leaked image of the iPhone 16 Pro in a color that can be charitably described as russet? Ochre? I don't know why I'm intending to do this, we already made the thumbnail. The leaker, Sonny Dixon on Twitter, that's just his name! He actually posted the 3 other, much more safe for the dinner table colors in July, strangely omitting the 4th one, presumably out of embarrassment. It took him 2 weeks to muster the courage to finally be honest with the world. Fine! It's a poop iPhone, okay? Previous iPhone leaks had pointed to Apple going with a new color that could be described as rose or bronze, maybe indicating a color that looks different in separate environments with unique lighting. Maybe this photo was taken in the same environment as Microsoft's chocolate brown Zoom from 2006. We can't know. Yeah, if I'm being completely honest, I expect this phone to look a lot nicer in person, but if I end up being disappointed, at least that'll be consistent with current rumors about the iPhone 16 Pro's design, which is expected to feature a new button for taking pictures. And not much else. One thing the new iPhones will definitely have, though, is Fortnite. In the EU, anyway. That's right, Epic Games has finally managed to launch its Epic Game Store app on iOS through sheer willpower and lots of loud complaining. The process to install EGS on iOS can still be a bit confusing, so Epic posted a tutorial video, which must have felt so good. They're making the video just like flipping off a picture of Tim Cook on the wall.
Throwing darts at it.
I feel nothing.
Buy your bought one of these.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was good. Epic is also relaunching their store app on Android globally after handily winning their Play Store lawsuit against Google. Both platforms' versions of EGS will host Epic's own games like Fortnite, Rocket League, Sideswipe, and Fall Guys, with plans to host other developers' apps in the future. It's a triumphant moment, but Epic didn't want to celebrate alone, so it awarded a mega grant to AltStore Pal, another iOS app marketplace. The amount of the monetary award was not disclosed, but it's apparently enough to cover Apple's ridiculous core technology fee. So, AltStore developer Riley Testit is dropping the subscription fee and giving access to the store for free. And that's how Epic is gonna win. Not by fighting what they hate, by paying people to be their friends. Web publishers have told Bloomberg Google has put them in a sticky situation. Either allow the Googlebot web crawler to slither all over their content and use it as fodder for the AI overviews, most well known for telling people to literally eat rocks, or block the crawler and not show up in search results, since the same bot is responsible for both. It's a real catch-22, writes Engadget, wrongly, because it's not. There's still the choice to block or not block, so this is just a garden variety dilemma. Now, if you had to be certifiably insane to block the Googlebot, but blocking it proved that you were sane, that would be a catch-22. What were we talking about? A Google spokesperson.
How much of a nerd you are!
A Google spokesperson responded to Engadget, clarifying that if websites block the bot, they will still show up in standard search results, but they won't be included in other search features like snippets and Google Discover. That's really nice of Google to only abuse their monopoly on search engines a little bit. The Department of Justice is currently mulling whether to break up Google or to force it to share data with competitors after the tech giant lost its big search antitrust case. But I hope the DOJ considers how good Google behaves sometimes. They just added better source citations to AI overviews, so you can find exactly where it got the idea that the force is real and you're just not trying hard enough. Squeeze, try squeezing.
Clench your cheeks. That's where the force comes from.
Trying hard is overrated, so just let our sponsor Delete Me take care of keeping your personal info personal. Trying to track down and delete your or your family's data off of services you don't use can take so long. And now you missed another one of Timmy's soccer games. You're traumatizing your kid, and that's why Delete Me now has family plans to cover everyone. Each family member gets their own personalized data cleanup, making sure that all that private info stays private. From the kids to the grown-up, we've got everyone protected from online snoops and scams, and managing it all too is easy peasy, giving you peace of mind. Head on over to the video description to check out Delete Me today. Oh, the quick bits, oh yeah, coming right up, Jacob. Are you ready for this? Let's go! ARM is working on a GPU that will compete with NVIDIA and Intel, according to sources who spoke to Israeli business outlet Globes. Of course, ARM already makes GPUs that compete with those companies in their Snapdragon X Windows laptops. They just compete badly. Up to 100 engineers are reportedly working on this new GPU, which sounds like it'll either be a discrete gaming GPU or an AI accelerator, which is just a graphics card used solely to make the internet worse. About a week after confirming that they'll let you install SteamOS on Windows handhelds, Valve has released official drivers for Steam Deck to allow owners to install and run Windows if they want to. Maybe you want to run unsupported games or emulators, or maybe you just like to suffer. Either way, Valve has you covered. Now, having said that, the drivers aren't perfect. For example, the Windows audio drivers don't support the Steam Deck's speakers yet, just headphones and Bluetooth audio. So I can play Fortnite on my Steam Deck and I won't be able to hear any of the 8-year-olds that don't know how to mute their mic? Sign me up. Did they say mean things to you, Jacob?
No, that's annoying.
An ISP in the US is petitioning the Supreme Court to overturn a ruling that would require them to disconnect customers accused of piracy. It's a very serious issue being championed by a company with a very silly name, Cox Communications. As the ruling currently stands, Americans could be cut off from the internet just because they, or someone whom they share a network with, received a couple of unproven accusations of copyright infringement. I think it's unbelievable that a US court made a decision so bad that an internet service provider is accidentally taking a pro-consumer stance. What is this? What's happening? A team of researchers has published a paper suggesting that bikes could be hacked. Specifically, professional grade bikes that have wireless gear shifting systems, such as those made by Shimano. Is that okay?
I think that was still racially insensitive. But
Scientists found that the signals put out by these bikes were interceptable from up to 10 yards away, allowing hackers to shift a victim's gears or even jam gear shifting on a specific bike. Fortunately, Shimano has already patched the vulnerabilities, which is unfortunate for those of us who thought the Tour de France might finally become exciting. And an international group of researchers have proposed improvements to modern telecommunication systems. All we have to do is start using electromagnetic vortex cannons, which I thought was kind of obvious, but thanks. The cannons in question create toroidal vortexes, like a smoke ring, but made out of rotating electromagnetic waves instead of dank vape clouds. The vortexes can carry more information than traditional electromagnetic wave structures, are more resilient to environmental disturbances, meaning they could be used to send data over long distances, but the main thing, and I can't stress this enough, they're called electromagnetic vortex cannons. What, we're just not gonna use them? Hey, why don't you hop on a vortex cannon and surf some electromagnetic waves back over here on Monday? There's gonna be tech news, and I could show you this trick where I blow a smoke ring and then blow a smoke pirate ship through it. I've never done it before, but I've got a good feeling about Monday. To gather this gaming news, we had to travel across the world. Wide web. Okay, we didn't really travel anywhere, but we looked real hard. We take this very seriously. A big Xbox exclusive will be announced for PS5 next week, according to several sources. A big port to make Xbox fans big sad. The news first spread on the Reset Era forums via reliable leaker Shinobi602. Then another leaker, Xstasis, tweeted a GIF saying, "Happy Cinco de Mayo," in response. What does it mean? Well, people took it as an implication that the to-be-announced title was Forza Horizon 5, which is set in Mexico. I think there's some stretches happening there. Jez Corden, managing director at Windows Central, has corroborated that there will be an announcement, but denied that the announced game would be Forza. In a follow-up tweet, Xstasis has claimed that regardless of whether Forza is announced for PS5 next week, there are plans to bring the game to the platform within the next few months. Tom Henderson of Insider Gaming has claimed that this is the second round of Xbox exclusives being ported to PlayStation. Since there were multiple games announced last time, it would make sense for that to be the case now. But Xbox gamers might be getting an exclusive back this time. Don't cry. Insider Nate Drake has claimed that Final Fantasy XVI will finally make its way to Xbox at some point. Maybe it'll coincide with the PC port that was hinted at last week by an NVIDIA graphics driver update. Maybe some casual jacketed businessman can convince Square Enix to make an announcement at Gamescom. Phil? Are you there?
Please?
The Nintendo Switch 2 might not release until at least April 2025, and it might launch even later than that. This report comes from Chris Dring of GamesIndustry.biz, who spoke on the publication's latest podcast about why he didn't believe the console would be released during Nintendo's current fiscal year, which ends on March 31st, 2025. Now for starters, Dring points out that Nintendo said they would announce the console this fiscal year. They didn't promise anything. Apparently, when a company like Nintendo is going to launch a console, usually, and this is so crazy, they say they're going to do that. Know for sure if this console will arrive in my lifetime. It hurts!
I could die tomorrow!
Without playing Super Mario Galaxy 3.
Wonder 5.
There's been some exciting updates for several current and upcoming games. For starters, real-time 4X strategy game Sins of a Solar Empire 2 has officially launched on Steam after being in early access and then stealth launching on Epic Games Store. And apparently it's better now. The game features a premium edition, promising additional features, which has infuriated some gamers who didn't read that this is all future content. It's just a poorly labeled season pass, not paywall day one content. So if you go on Reddit and see a bunch of angry comments, it's because people didn't read before they wrote, okay? I'm not even a fan of this game. I haven't played any of them. I don't like when people don't read.
Reading Rainbow.
In upcoming game news, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 has been delayed to February 2025, so you'll have to wait a little longer to get horribly drunk and duel knights again. In a video game. I do that every weekend. But if you're looking for a Zelda-inspired indie game, The Plucky Squire is officially releasing next month and will release day one on PS Plus. It's like Game Pass, but less cool. A little over a month after that, on October 31st, Dragon Age, The Veilguard will finally release. Looks like I'm not going trick-or-treating this year, which has been the norm since I was like 13, but still. But for some reason, Veilguard will be $10 cheaper on PC than it will be on consoles. Whatever the reason is, I earned that $10 in savings by not buying an Xbox and instead spending hundreds of dollars more on a PC. And if you want to earn even more savings, you should check out our sponsor, iFixit. Back to school season is coming up, and while you might be tempted to buy a new laptop, why not breathe new life into your old one? iFixit is offering 15% off their Manta, Mahi, Mako, Minnow, and Moray bit sets, I did it, for you to start your repairing journey. And they're also offering 15% off Mac laptop parts. You can do that? Check out iFixit using the link in the description and save some money this back to school season. I'm not saying that I slew a dragon to bring you these quick bits, but if anyone is in the market for some dragon meat, I've got a lot. Activision has announced they're finally doing something about Call of Duty's massive download sizes by decoupling Warzone from the other titles. Starting on August 21st, players can choose if they want to also download Warzone when they purchase an annual title. Activision is also expanding the use of texture streaming to try and save some space. But ironically, this will require an update that even Activision admits is quite big. Even worse, PS5 players will require 4 separate downloads for this update. But that's fine, it's not like you had anything planned for August 21st, right?
It's just a Wednesday.
Stuffing the updates in. Previews for Splitgate 2's alpha are out now. And on first glance, I noticed that the gameplay for the sequel to the Rudy Tooty Portal Shooty title looked noticeably more hinged. Some are calling Splitgate 2 the next great shooter, but the new classes and 4v4 objective-based gameplay seem like a far cry from the original game, whose only objective was to shoot people through portals. You just made it more complicated.
I just want domes of guys. Of course. I just want to break the space-time and also the skull.
A new head-tracking chair hopes to reduce VR motion sickness by spinning around to match where you're looking. While the Roto VR Explorer, oh my gosh, this is a new version of a chair I did on Short Circuit, but then we didn't publish it because putting it together was a gong show. Anyways, this one is labeled as made for meta, but it can theoretically work with any headset that has a top head strap to attach the sensor to. And it only costs more than a top spec Meta Quest 3. But the chair doesn't just spin, okay. It also has a rumble pack in the seat to provide you with immersive haptic booty jiggles. Because how are you supposed to feel a VR explosion if not by the clap of your ass cheeks?
Pretty sure Shakespeare said that. Thou hast clapped thine ass cheek for the last time. My favorite line from Macbeth.
Valve is attempting to crack down on joke reviews for Steam games by revamping the platform's helpfulness system. Traditionally, any user can label any review as one they found helpful. Unfortunately, users often vote for stuff that doesn't actually help people decide whether or not they should buy a game. With the new system, actual informative reviews should be shown before in-jokes and memes, kids stuff.
ASCII art.
Valve will also be removing links from Steam game pages, partly so game descriptions are no longer used to advertise other games. I don't even know what this game is yet. Stop pointing me to 8 others. What are you?
I haven't played Skippy Waifu 7 yet.
And gamer Ibrahim Al Nasser from Saudi Arabia has set a world record for most gaming consoles connected to a single TV. Apparently, the magic number here is 444.
444.
Oh, is that how you say it? This includes not just well-known consoles, but obscure pieces and cheap plug-and-play models. His exceptionally clean-looking setup includes over 30 RCA switchers and more than a dozen HDMI switchers, requiring a dedicated Excel spreadsheet to figure out which switchers to power on for which console. That's crazy. That's so many consoles that you can never play when your wife's using the TV. They're all just sitting there. But when you get your turn, you should switch your TV to the thing that lets you come back here for more gaming news on Tuesday. You don't have to use your TV. I mean, you can use your phone. There's other devices, I'm sure, as well. But just be here.
Engage.
Just be here. Oh, everyone be cool, okay? We just gotta focus on the gaming news here, focus on the facts, and most importantly, no one jinx this. No! God! A newly discovered, unannounced Valve game is strongly believed to be Half-Life 3. In other news, there are complaints of uncharacteristically cold weather from several residents of Hell. The big rumor starter here was an actor's resume, which listed work on a to-be-announced Valve game called Project White Sands. Some Redditors have pointed out that White Sands is the name of a park and a military testing range in New Mexico, the US state where Half-Life's fictional Black Mesa research facility is located. Then, well-known Valve data miner Tyler McVicker came out and said he thinks this is Valve-Life 3, the Sims competitor set at Valve's offices. Half-Life 3, but not because of the White Sands thing. McVicker claims he believes Project White Sands is another name for a game codenamed HLX that was initially discovered in 2021, which he now strongly believes to be a fully fledged non-VR Half-Life game. They could still be screwing us. It could be like a head crab simulator. It's a top-down Pokemon-style battler with head crabs. McVicker says he's found references to HLX in the code of other Valve games, suggesting the player character will be wearing an HEV suit, which is something main franchise protagonist Gordon Freeman is known for. References were also found for off-world travel and drivable vehicles, but that could mean anything. The game could heavily involve interdimensional forklift operation, which is stay calm. Freeman, your break ended 5 minutes ago.
No.
The Stop Killing Games initiative, led by YouTuber Ross Scott, has received strong criticism from Jason Thor Hall, better known online as Pirate Software. In a live stream and a follow-up video, Hall, who is a professional game developer, claimed the European Citizens Initiative, promoted by the Stop Killing Games movement, could harm developers of all sizes and kill live service games entirely. Hall seems to suggest that requiring any game to be playable indefinitely does not make sense and is sometimes not possible. As an example, Hall points out that the Ubisoft game, The Crew, which sort of kicked off the whole Stop Killing Games movement, licensed the use of real cars, and that license only lasts a limited time. Louis Rossmann contested this in a response video, claiming that older games like Gran Turismo 2 used the likeness of real-world cars, and that still works. Rossmann also argues that if licensors are handcuffing developers in this way, legal action could be the push to change that. While Hall is skeptical of efforts to preserve live service multiplayer games, there have been successful examples, such as Knockout City. But Hall obviously has more knowledge in this space as a legitimate game developer. We're just a bunch of little guys that want to play video games. After 33 years of operation, gaming news site and magazine Game Informer has been shut down by its current owner, GameStop. Game Informer was the longest running US gaming magazine, and out of respect for its legacy, GameStop called all Game Informer employees into a meeting on Friday to tell them they all no longer have jobs. The staff must have been surprised, as former workers claimed they were 70% done with their next issue, which will not see the light of day.
The current issue was finding a goddamn job.
Oh God. Making matters worse, the entire Game Informer site has been wiped, including exclusive content about the upcoming game, Dragon Age: The Veilguard. The Game Informer Twitter account posted a heartfelt goodbye to its fans and supporters for sticking with it for perhaps multiple decades. But then GameStop ruined that too by deleting the Game Informer Twitter account and making the farewell message unviewable. It's Twitter. You don't have to maintain the server or anything, like what? Fortunately, the good folks at MinMax are releasing a series of videos celebrating the history of the magazine. Meanwhile, when GameStop dies, I imagine people will just celebrate and lose all of the money they've still been hodling. On a personal note, consider giving your booty a celebration with our sponsor, Secret Lab. When you're